from the eyes of the boy.
Bundagi.
Alright.
And so Bundagi is
Silkworm.
silkworm. Yep. Alright, Chelsea, you can start.
I thought that was gonna sink first go. I was like, oh, great.
Peter playing it safe.
Yeah.
Ooh, Siri. You almost got
Yeah, I
yourself,
almost dropped the
Siri.
ball. Like it's like
You almost
almost
got
like
it.
from a hand. Like almost like pulled the whole thing in.
I saw that, Peter. Yeah.
Good! Ah! You got this.
You could chase it with the worm and then chase the worm.
Yeah, you cannot like that in
Yeah.
between.
It's like beer nuts.
Pick a tasty one.
I was
Pick a
gonna say,
tasty one.
this guy was speaking to me,
Yeah.
so. Cheers, everybody. Yep.
Is it juicy? Like what?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
I think
no.
it's juicy, is it?
Wait, the one that I had, like, definitely burst. But it tastes like a nut.
That
Like,
face.
it tastes like a peanut and an almond.
Like
Or
the
a
inside
walnut.
is like bad scrambled egg texture.
Yeah.
Growing up as an adoptee was interesting. Kids growing up, they don't mean to be cruel, I don't think. They just, kids just say whatever comes to their mind, so they're very blunt. Why don't you look like your mom or dad? Why don't you look like your brother? Didn't your parents want you? Like, just kind of things that, looking back, were very insensitive. So that was always something that kind of, I think, led me to develop a tough skin at a very young age. Anything dealing with Asian culture, teachers would always kind of defer to me to see if I had an opinion on it. Like I was a spokesperson for anybody Asian, didn't matter what country we were talking about. When I was younger, it definitely made me kind of shrink back into myself and try to be more invisible. I went to Korean culture camp when I was younger through elementary school and middle school. It was kind of the thing that I always looked forward to every summer because it was the one time that I could feel not like the outsider. My relationship with my adoptive family right now is, I guess, not existent. Growing up, it was great. My mom and I would run errands together, get our nails done together, everything. But I did grow up in a very religious household. And when I came out to them, when I was 19, it didn't really go well. I came out to my mom first, and she got very upset, and I left the restaurant that we were at, and she told my father later that night he was out of town on business, which probably wasn't the best time for me to come out, but I was like, I have to do it now or never, otherwise I'm gonna kind of lose the courage. And that just kind of started the chain of events that led to us not really having a relationship now. It was against what they believed in. And what I've learned now is that it's really hard to fight religion. We've tried in the past to kind of reconcile, and it's just kind of at a point where I think it's been too long. I'm 28 now, so it's been 9 years. My 20s were definitely spent with a lot of traveling, a lot of moving around, which led to a lot of self-discovery. My parents lived in Minnesota. I lived in Wisconsin, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Florida, and then made my way back to Minnesota. Colorado, I think, really stands out to me in all the different places I lived because I moved to Colorado without knowing a single person. packed up my car and drove 14 hours to a state where I had no support system. So it was there that I really learned how to be alone with myself and be okay. It's where I got to kind of really look inside myself and kind of figure out, what do you want to do with your life here? What do you want to do? What are some, demons that have been holding you back that need to be brought into light? It was then that I kind of figured out kind of where I wanted to go, like why I was so angry at my family, why I was holding on to so much hurt when it was said in the past, and I was like, well, I can hang on to this hurt and have it completely, control my entire life, or I can try and take the hurt, accept it, grow from it, become a better person, learn not to be completely just shut down with their disapproval. I shouldn't have to sacrifice a big part of something that makes me feel very comfortable in my own skin in order to make whoever happy, whether it's my parents, whether it's a relationship I'm in, friends. And that's something that has taken me, I think, up until this point to know that it's okay just to be me. Despite all the hurt and all of the pain that I've been through in my past, that's something that makes everything worth it, something where I can be completely me. On Thursday, I'm very lucky, I'm gonna be getting a tattoo done here in Seoul. It's going to be of a gypsy portrait with the quote, "Not all those who wander are lost." That quote has always been prevalent in my life just because I've moved around so much, and for a while my parents, my mother especially, saw me moving all over as just me being lost and not knowing what to do. And I took it as a journey of just to experience life, to experience other parts of the United States and to find myself. I wasn't lost, I was just kind of going where life took me, because I thought, hey, maybe I'll find something about myself in this state versus this state. The idea of a gypsy came about later, almost maybe a couple years ago, just because that whole kind of group of people were just wanderers their entire life, but they were never truly lost. They had their culture and they had themselves. And so I thought taking the strong portrait of a gypsy woman with that quote and just melding it together would kind of almost bring me full circle in my journey, especially getting it done here in Korea, the country that gave me life.
So just random coincidence or not, I actually realized that all of you guys have tattoos.
Yeah.
What tattoos do you guys have? Did you guys get them here in Korea? Oh no, each of you guys got a tattoo in Korea, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool. Okay. Apparently it's illegal to have them, or
It's
To
illegal
get them?
to tattoo.
Yeah.
Or
Unless you're like actually have
Yeah.
a medical degree,
exactly.
then you can tattoo. Or like
if you
a-
went through
yeah.
med school,
Yeah.
you can become a tattoo artist. Like
Okay.
that's the rule that they
Standard, yeah.
made to try and make it.
to make it more difficult for people to get them?
Yeah.
And then Siri, you got one too?
Yeah, I got this one. And like, I hadn't really decided if I was gonna get one before I came here. It was more like a spontaneous decision, and I didn't actually know what I was gonna get. I decided to get a tattoo that would commemorate like the whole Korea thing. So I got like in the yin yang symbol that's in the flag, and then some sort of like traditional version of like the Rose of Sharon as well around it. Like,
Yeah.
And then Peter, which one did you get?
I got this one, the Rose of Sharon, the national flower. When I was last in Korea, I took a photograph of one, and then when I got back, I got this done, and it didn't come out the way that I had wanted. So when the opportunity presented itself to actually like get an authentic one from a real Korean artist here, so like I almost feel like
That looks great.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's-
It's
so nice. It looks like a picture. Like,
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
And I feel like this was the one that I really wanted to get, so I've been waiting sort of like 7 years to get it. But yeah, I would fly 14 hours back here just to go back to the artist.
Yeah.
That looks
He
great.
was so good.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
obvious this one and then the one all on my arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these two, same artist.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no.
That
you were the
was
most
so
hardcore.
cool.
Yeah, that was so nice.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yep, everything happens.
What
for
does
a
that
reason.
mean?
So, it's a quote made by Marilyn Monroe. It's actually a really long quote, but she starts it off with everything happens for a reason, and then kind of goes in to talk about how, you know, people come into your life and may not stay in your life, and things might fall apart, but only to bring you back to something more positive. And I felt like these 2 tattoos just kind of memorialize them on my body. These are my badges of honor to say, hey, I went through some shit and I made it, and I'm stronger for it.
Sometimes I break down, sometimes I wither from the wind, piercing through my skin, in and out my soul. And then I realize that all I've ever learned to love is something I can never truly understand. You're just like a mystery, tell me what's underneath. I just want to figure like the shape of your silhouette.
Hey NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.